Hi, and welcome to my old school blues guitar turnaround for the month of July 2015. This month we're back to acoustic blues, and I'm going to show you a turnaround that you hear in a couple songs by Blind Blake, and also Reverend Gary Davis uses this in a couple of his tunes. It's in the key of G, so if we start out, really the whole thing is based around a first position G chord. Let me play the turnaround for you, and then we will break it down. So, what I'm doing, starting out, I've got finger picks on both my first finger and my second finger, and a thumb pick. If you're playing bare-fingered, you're going to need all your fingers for this. It's almost like a piano tune where you're playing piano chords using more than just a couple of fingers. So we're starting out with just a simple G shape, first position G chord. And what he's doing sounds to me like he's picking, where he's pinching the 6th string, which is fretted at the 3rd fret of the 3rd fret, is my G. Then the first pinch, he's picking the 1st and 2nd strings, and I don't know if he's doing it with his second finger getting the 2nd string, his first finger getting the 2nd string, second finger getting the 3rd string. But that could be it. You could just pick with one finger too, but I think he's doing it that way. Then he's going to move his ring finger to the 3rd fret of the 4th string and do the same picking. This time his thumb is getting the 4th string and his two fingers are getting the 2nd and 1st strings. He's going to do a C shape, keeping his pinky right where it's at and going from this position to making a C chord. So if I take my pinky off, that's a C chord, but I'm going to keep my pinky on, and I'm going to do the same picking motion again, but this time my thumb is going to get the 3rd fret of the 5th string, which is a C note. So the whole thing so far. Then he's going to do this, where what I've got is I'm going from my C position. I'm keeping my pinky anchored, it's not going anywhere. So I've got my first finger on the 1st fret of the 4th string. I've got my second finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. My pinky's still where it's at. And then my ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. So I go like this. I move them from that C position, except I'm doing the same picking thing. My thumb is getting the 4th string, and my two fingers, 1st and 2nd string. Now I pick them hard enough that the 3rd string is going to sound too. So the whole thing so far. And then I wrap it up by going back to my G. This is my 1. So the whole turnaround. And then I go to my 5. If it's a 1, 4, 5 or a D7, could be my 5. In Blind Blake, he does a tune called Policy Blues, where he uses this, and he does this. And then the turnaround. And when it does the D, it's an alternating bass. 5th and 4th strings. You can do this in a lot of different ways. Gary Davis uses this turnaround in a tune called 12 Sticks, which I teach a lesson on elsewhere. Blind Blake also uses it in an up-tempo tune called Too Tight. And he does... plays it a lot faster, but it's the same basic turnaround. He also does a variation of this in a tune called That'll Never Happen No More, where he does the picking. He picks it. And I also have a tutorial, a lesson on that tune as well, if you want to see some variations on this. So if you're playing a blues song in the key of G, you know, let's say a slow country blues type thing, so you go to the 5, the 4, either, but you see how that works. So again, and the picking, the thumb getting the bass, and the first and second fingers picking the first and second strings all the way through to that point. And you can do whatever you want at the end. So that is my classic acoustic blues turnaround for the month of July 2015. I hope this is helpful, something you can use. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. Make sure you listen to the songs I mentioned, especially the Blind Blake tunes, so you can hear this used, and the Gary Davis tune 12 Sticks. That's also got the same turnaround in it. I'll be back in August with another electric blues turnaround this time. See you then.